right? So as soon as that piece of ground was flooded, it was counted as a loss. They had not done any mitigation for operational losses, which are those 10 to 15 acres a year we were talking about losing, right? So this was a kind of groundbreaking in the Bonneville power mitigation arena. And that was a big deal for us, it was a big deal for them. And so part of the agreement was to credit the work that we had done under the short-term agreement as part of the settlement. That's 624 acres. And then to come up with just about 13 million to restore roughly 1,400 acres. And it gives us a lot of flexibility on how we can do that. So in other words, we can take these dollars and leverage them with other dollars we might be able to get more than 1,400 acres restoration out of this, if we're smart with the money, which we're going to try to be. The first priority was to finish up the work in the Clark Fork Delta. Remember we talked about phase 1, phase 2. We have 10 years to do that and other restoration work, and I'll talk about that a little bit. And then there's a stewardship account that goes along with those restored acres. And like I said, it's a 30-year term for the operational agreement, and that just really means at the end of 30 years, the state and Bonneville will sit down and say, how we doing? Is this enough? Is it not enough? And if we aren't agreeing, how are we going to find a point of agreement on that? But for 30 years, we're going to go do our thing, and they're going to watch what we're doing, and we're going to see how we did.
I have a question.
Yes?
So with this money we have now, can you tell us how much has been spent so far up to this point?
Not a lot, because we're just getting into starting phase 2 this year. So some planning money. Off the top of my head, I want to say a couple $300,000 in planning.
Well, what about the
Design
moving of
work.
all those massive rocks and all of that equipment being moved in?
So that is scheduled to start next month. So we will be starting to, so mobilizing the equipment, that's when the expense things really start to add up expense-wise, and we anticipate this phase 2 will be about a $3 million.
Well, what about phase 1? How much has that cost?
So phase 1 was about $6 million. That was the 3
Okay.
plus 3 we talked about.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Was it these acres and